If you are attempting to improve your posture, it's absolutely imperative that you have some method of getting objective feedback. If you don't have objective feedback, it will be extremely difficult to know whether or not your posture is really improving. Nearly everyone is guided by their feeling sense. If you feel like you're standing up straight, you assume you must be. But nearly everyone also has bad posture, which means nearly everyone's feeling sense is misleading them and telling them that their bad posture is comfortable, normal, or good enough. I can't emphasize enough how deceptive one's feeling sense can be, especially when it's been conditioned for years or decades to believe that a contorted posture is a normal, upright posture. To make a change to better posture, you have to go against what your feeling sense believes is right. And to truly know if you're succeeding in changing for the better, you need objective feedback. As I discussed in the last installment of this series, when attempting to correct your posture, you will need to make rationally guided adjustments to your body, which are composed of movements and the prevention of movements. You will also need to maintain adjustments while performing gestures. To know whether you have correctly executed an adjustment or gesture, you need objective visual feedback. Otherwise, it's quite likely that you will think you've performed what you intended. You may even feel that you've done what you intended, when in reality, you have done precisely what you intended not to do. There are three main ways of getting objective feedback. First, you can use a mirror. A mirror is the quickest and easiest way to get feedback, but it also comes with some challenges. To use a mirror, you simply need to make an adjustment or perform a gesture in front of the mirror, and then check to see if you've gotten the result you wanted. The first issue posed by using a mirror is that you will have to turn your head if you wish to assess your body in profile, and typically, you will need to be viewing yourself from the side to assess your adjustment. While that may be an interesting challenge, turning your head without disrupting the adjustment you've made, it's not a simple task, especially for a beginner. You could avoid this problem by using multiple mirrors situated so that you can see yourself from different angles without needing to turn your head. But that takes space and multiple mirrors, so it's not always convenient. You can also sometimes make your adjustment head-on to the mirror, so you will not need to turn your head. But there's an issue with using multiple mirrors or facing the mirror head-on, which is that you will be receiving immediate visual feedback. It's likely that you will use that immediate visual feedback you're getting from the mirror to help you during your adjustment. While this may actually help you make sure you get the result you want, in real life, we do not walk around with a mirror in front of us. So if you wish to be able to make the correct adjustments in your day-to-day life, you must cultivate the ability to make your adjustments without the help of immediate visual feedback. While there is some benefit even in using the mirror for immediate feedback, in the sense that it will help you use something other than your feeling sense to guide you, the ultimate goal is to use your rational mind to guide your movements, and so using mirrors to get immediate feedback has the possibility of becoming a crutch and hindrance. It's better to generally make your adjustment without looking at the mirror, only checking how the adjustment went afterwards. Personally, I think mirrors are extremely useful and helpful, and practically speaking, they're the simplest way to get objective visual feedback. The second method of getting objective feedback is taking a video of yourself. This has become easier with the proliferation of computers with webcams, and phones with video capabilities could also be used. The setup and memory storage are really the only downsides to using video. With a video, you have the added bonus of being able to go back and watch what you've done repeatedly and even at slower speeds. You will really be able to see what's going right and what's going wrong using video. There are a few things to consider when video recording yourself. You want to wear light-colored clothing because that will show up on video better. It's best if your source of light is coming from behind the camera, so that you are maximally lit up and not in shadow. You definitely don't want a window behind you. If you're using your webcam or any camera with a wide-angle lens, you want to make sure you're in the center of the picture because the edges will be distorted. It can also be helpful to have a vertically straight object behind you for reference, something like a door or window frame, so that you know what's straight up and down. Like with a mirror, you will typically work sideways to the camera, although sometimes it will make sense to face the camera. With video, your 1, 2, 3 count during adjustments should absolutely be done out loud. That way, when you go back and watch the video of your adjustment, you will know exactly when you started and ended the adjustment. Some people don't like to look at themselves on video, and some have commented to me that they did not at first enjoy seeing so clearly how bad their posture really is. The video, of course, does not tell lies, not even white lies, to protect our feelings. But we should not fear seeing reality. We have to see things as they really are if we want to rationally change them. However, this annoyance at seeing one's poor state will evaporate as you begin to analyze yourself objectively, and your dismay over your condition will turn to delight as your posture improves and you see yourself change for the better right in front of your eyes. While using video is not as quick as using a mirror, the ability to rewatch what you've done is monumentally helpful. We are lucky to live in a time where it's relatively easy to use video recording, and we should take advantage of video's unique benefits. The third way to get objective feedback is by having someone with the necessary expertise watch you perform adjustments or gestures. It can be very helpful to have another rational mind assisting you in guiding yourself. The downsides are that this, of course, requires you to have a knowledgeable person to help you, and that you cannot go back and see for yourself what you're doing, like with video. Naturally, your 1, 2, 3 count should be said out loud when working with someone observing, as this makes it clear to them when you are beginning and ending your adjustment. When you make adjustments during your day-to-day life, it may not always be sensible to do your 1, 2, 3 count out loud. And of course, the count can be done in your head, but doing the count out loud can be beneficial, even when you're alone. Lessons in the initial Alexander technique make use of both video recording and a teacher with expertise. In a lesson, which is conducted one-on-one over Zoom, you will be asked to make certain adjustments and gestures by your teacher. They will help you determine the best orders to give yourself to adjust the condition of your body for the better, and to maintain that improved condition while performing various gestures. You will record video of the lesson using Zoom, so that after the lesson is finished, you can go back and watch exactly what you've done. This kind of lesson will accelerate your learning for several reasons. You will have someone pushing you to perform gestures that are just beyond what you think you're capable of, so that you continue to expand your abilities. And you will have someone who can tell you precisely where you're going wrong. But they won't just point out that something is wrong, they will give you the means to correct what's going wrong in the form of orders that will allow you to prevent your incorrect habitual movements if you follow the orders successfully. Then you will be able to go back and watch the lesson over and see for yourself what you were doing when things went wrong and what you were doing when things went right. That ability to go back and see exactly what your teacher saw will really help you to rationally understand what you are doing and what you need to be doing. In the next installment of this series, we will begin to look more closely at what we are attempting to achieve with our adjustments. But you now have everything you need to return to our original example of an adjustment, which was lifting the chest, and begin experimenting. We have specific names for the relevant parts of our body. We know the directions of movement that are possible. we know the basic setup for performing an adjustment, and we have options as to how we will get objective feedback on how we performed the adjustment to know if we are succeeding or failing in what we've intended to do. Here are some basic orders to get started with lifting the chest. There are certainly ways of getting more specific with lifting the chest, but this is a good place to start. 1. I will lift the rib line up away from the iliacs. 2. I will not allow the bottom of the sternum, the rib line, or the iliacs to go forward. 3. I will not allow the top of the sternum to move backward. And 4. I will not allow the shoulders to move up with the torso. When the orders are clear in your mind, you perform them all simultaneously on a 1, 2, 3 count, and then you can check with your method of getting objective feedback to see if you've succeeded or not. If you would like more direct assistance in applying this system in your life, I recommend lessons in the initial Alexander technique. Check out the description for more information on getting lessons in the initial Alexander technique. Questions and comments are always welcome in the comment section below.